These Moors. They're all here.
Let's sit down. Sit down. You know she's making you right. Let's sit down.
Oh, Moors, get it sent out. We ain't started yet, but you can get the link sent out. You already know. It's not Moors.
You have to get a plate kit for that to make some. You have to get one of those at Target. And it's some toy section. Because I'm pretty sure that's where like you can make a because that girl on TikTok is not crocheting. She was making like a bracelet, but the string was rainbow.
Yeah.
But she did cut threads and then sew it together. It was already like
Did she like?
she didn't make rainbow. No.
That's one way.
And I got that crochet.
It's a lot, Moors. Let's do this. Let's do this. So, Moors, let's rise and get our rules out the way. These Moors, 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe. Allah, the Father of the universe. Father of love. Father of love. Truth. Truth. Peace. Peace. Freedom. Freedom. And justice. And justice. Allah is my protector. Allah is my protector. My guide. My guide. And my salvation. And my salvation. By night. And by day. To his holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Islam, Moors. We're out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll take that as a sign that the prophet's happy and the Moors are happy. These Moors. We're just going to read our proclamations. We read every meeting and we'll go from there. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Noble Drew Ali. Islam. To be proclaimed at every meeting. Islam. I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now, by the same people of our side of the nation that claimed that I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. To the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam, this is the instruction from your prophet Noble Drew Ali. Be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you would be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on, but the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, I, Noble Drew Ali. And that's why many hearts have been turned to stone. Many have eyes to see, but cannot see, ears to hear, but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sins. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving, and they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you have the true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah would bless you for your good work. Peace, your divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Islam, Moors. Moors, have anything before we start up? You want to get your outbursts out the way? Because I know. I'm good. I'm just glad to see the Moors turn out. Islam. Oh, man, that's something to read on here. I forgot about. So we're going to be dealing with the truth message of Noble Drew Ali. Like the Moor said, honors to all the Moors for being in attendance. We doing the research with regard to the truth message. I got a few quotations here dealing with truth. 75 truth quotes that would set you free. So we'll just put some of these out and just get more thoughts on some of these. The truth will set you free, but not until it is finished with you. David Foster Wallace. Many a doctrine is like a window pane. We see truth through it, but it divides us from truth. Beauty is truth's smile when she beholds her own face in a perfect mirror. The truth is rarely pure and never simple. The truth is effortless. Honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. To reach the end goal, you must be willing to be straightforward with one another. We must be willing and prepared to stare at ourselves in the mirror and speak the truth. Some people think that the truth can be hidden with a little cover-up and decoration. But as time goes by, what is true is revealed, and what is fake fades away. We learn about honesty and integrity, that the truth matters, that you don't take shortcuts or play by your own set of rules, and success doesn't count unless you earn it fair and square. If you want to have a healthy mind, you must feed your mind with truth. The truth is not always beautiful, nor beautiful words the truth. What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we have. A lie is like a snowball. It starts off small and then grows and grows until a point where it gets so big it falls apart, and then truth is discovered. There is nothing so kingly as kindness, and nothing so royal as truth. Those who know the truth are not equal to those who love it. Truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away. A truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lies you can invent. Every mind must make its choice between truth and repose. It cannot have both. Any thoughts yet on any of those?
Truth is hot, like the Prophet said.
Islam can't be debated. Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. But also for the new people, if any questions come up, feel free to just throw them out if they come to mind. We don't want to lose those. A half-truth is often a great lie. There is no greatness where there is no simplicity, goodness, and truth. People will generally accept facts as truth only if the facts agree with what they already believe. In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Learn what is true in order to do what is right. The truth is not for all men, but only for those who seek it. I'm for truth no matter who tells it. I'm for justice no matter who it's for or against. For every good reason, there is a lie. There is a better reason to tell the truth. To be Jedi is to face the truth and choose. Truth is ever to be found in simplicity and not in multiplicity and confusion of things. Being honest may get you a lot of friends, but it will always get you the right ones. There is one truth that must be sought after first before you can go further, and that truth is that you must take charge of your own life, for you cannot lead a life of truth if you let someone else take responsibility for your thoughts or actions. The truth is, anyone can be the difference. All it takes is using whatever you have to do whatever you can. Truth is like gold. It is to be obtained, not by its growth, but by washing away from it all that is not gold. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. Truth is so rare that it is delightful to tell it. The truth really is the light of the world. If I can persuade every single person in the world to accept all of my beliefs, it would not make those beliefs correct, nor would it change what is actually true. So 75 truth quotes, and you probably look up and find more than that. That was to set the stage for Noble Drew Ali and his message of truth. And we're going to start off with the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Holy Temple of Science. And this is from the intro. The lessons of this pamphlet are not for sale, but for the sake of humanity. As I am a prophet, and the servant is worthy of his hire, you can receive this pamphlet at expense. The reason these lessons have not been known is because the Muslims of India, Egypt, and Palestine had these secrets and kept them back from the outside world. And when the time appointed by Allah, they loosened the keys and freed these secrets. And for the first time in ages, have these secrets been delivered in the hands of the Muslims of America. All authority and rights of publishing of this pamphlet of 1927. And then something just hit me as I was reading this. So when you hear the people justifying selling packages, and a servant is worthy of his hire or whatever, we could add that to where they took stuff from Noble Drew Ali without giving him his credit or whatever like that, because they should be putting it out there. We got this from Noble Drew Ali, servant is worthy of his hire, 500, 1,000, 20,000, whatever the case is, right? So that's just a side note that the individuals that's even selling out are taking stuff from Noble Drew Ali.
That's like the only way to get a live pass
Yeah.
to somebody is to
Yeah.
describe it with the truth.
Yeah, the only way.
They use the prophets lessons, and then they turn around and don't want to give them credit. They say the prophet didn't bring this. I done heard this is just a religious movement. I done heard the prophet brought it the best way he can. I done heard that. I done heard all the slanderment.
Yeah.
That, you know, Moors would say, you know, about the prophet, you know, and I shake my head because, you know, I just pray that they'll get to the level that I'm on.
Yeah.
To figure out what the illustrious prophet really have brought to us.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the, you know, the slanderment as far as, you know, pedophilia and all this, you know, and, you know, the things they say about the prophet, but then y'all don't look at the things that was did to the prophet.
Yeah.
And how they hide the prophet from us. Y'all don't, you have to weigh what the negative from the positive. And once you weigh it up and see, oh, they are doing way more hiding. Because if he was this negative God, they would do it all over.
Yeah. They would have promoted it.
They would have broadcast it.
Yeah.
See, so this goes again with the COINTEL and the slander again against our illustrious universal prophet.
Islam. Any other thoughts? Anybody else? So we're going to start at chapter 3, Elihu's lessons, the unity of life. And this is verse 9. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is truth reversed, and so is falsehood manifest. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. As we get this info, we know that majority of our people are caught up in the falsehoods of society. And they're caught up in the falsehoods of society because the higher self isn't there. It's supposed to be something that's promoted. It's just like when Oscar the Priest was in office and they were pushing that the Constitution has to be enforced. The Constitution has to be enforced. They kept on that thing of enforcing the Constitution. The same thing we have to do with the truth, knowing that we have it. You know what I mean? Like there's talk and speculation of who has it or whatever that is. The real deal is the nationality and birthrights is the missing key with our people. And that truth has to be presented to them. Whether they accept it or not, they can't say we didn't tell them. You know, they can't say, well, the Moors didn't. No, the Moors did. We've been telling you. Been telling you since the 20s what this is about. So when we understand, even if we go higher up, verse 4 or verse 5, there are two selves, the higher self and lower self. The higher self is human spirit clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. The lower self, the carnal self, the body of desires, is a reflection of the higher self, distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. The lower self is an illusion and will pass away. The higher self is Allah in man and will not pass away. And then going into the higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is truth reversed, and so is falsehood made manifest. The higher self is justice, mercy, love, and right. The lower self is what the higher self is not. The lower self breeds hatred, slander, lewdness, murders, theft, and everything that harms. The higher self is the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life. The lower self is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, and satisfying gain, but gives unrest, misery, and death. It gives men apples that are lovely to the eye and pleasant to the smell. Their cores are full of bitterness and gall. If you would ask what to study, I would say yourselves, and you well have studied them, and then would ask me what to study next, and I will reply yourselves. He who knows well his lower self knows the illusions of the world, knows the things that will pass away, and he who knows his higher self knows Allah, knows well the things that cannot pass away. So the truth message resides in the higher self. The idea of truth being something real, something tangible that's attainable, it's going to be manifest through the higher self. The lower self believes everything that you don't want to deal with, everything that our people are complaining about, marching about, picketing about. All those things are created out of the lower self being pushed. So when you go to the music, they're pushing lower self. You go to the entertainment, they're pushing lower self. There's no, even when you go to I was us talking about it, about these Moors last night. These Moors last night had a ball game 175 to 170 something. And just seeing how lower self this stuff is. That anything goes now. Traveling goes, double dribble goes, doesn't matter. there's no discipline. You know what I mean? There's nothing moral going on. Even the sports is messed up. You know what I mean? So it's gonna take really putting that truth out there and go again to having how to present the truth, right? Chapter 5. After the feast, the homeward journey, the missing Jesus, the search for him, his parents find him in the temple. He goes with them to Nazareth, symbolic meaning of the carpenter's tools. Verse 17. We use the hammer to drive home the truth and to pound it in until it is part of every part. So that's how we have to deal with the truth. The truth has to be pounded in to every part at all times. It's all right. Yeah, the truth has to be pounded in all the time at every part so that it's there, just like the morals outside hammering the truth. Right? Once you hammer the truth, then it's probably going to be there. Right? It's probably going to be there. More than likely. Now, let's see what's leading up to that. One day, as he was bringing forth the tools for work, he said, "These tools remind me of the ones we handle in the workshop of the mind, where things are made of thoughts and where we build up character. We use the square to measure all of our lines, to straighten out the crooked places of the way, to make the corners of our conduct square. We use the compass to draw the circles around our passions and desires, to keep them in the bounds of righteousness. We use the axe to cut away the naughty, useless, and ungainly parts, and make the character symmetrical. We use the hammer to drive home the truth, and to pound it in until it is part of every part. We use the plane to smooth the rough, uneven surface of the joint, and block and board that go to build the temple for the truth. The chisel, line, and plummet, and the saw have all their uses in the workshop of the mind." So truth is an objective. Truth is somewhere that we're trying to reach, somewhere we're trying to get to, on top of being something that we have to embody, right? And that's three times the truth in 5 chapters. And then when we did the love was in all the chapters. Pretty much the whole book has something to do with love. So the message is in there. It's, are we really going to receive the message and see that everything was brought? And once we see that everything was brought, now what are we going to do with it now that we have it? Chapter 7, the friendship of Jesus and Lamas. Jesus explains to Lamas the meaning of truth. Right? And then that's this whole chapter. And then the 7th, right? Dealing with this truth idea. So this one will take this whole one in. Among the priests of Jagannath, who was one who loved the Jewish boy. Lamas Bramis was his name, and by which the priest was known. One day, as Jesus and Lamas walked alone in the plaza, Jagannath Lamas said, "My Jewish master, what is truth?" And Jesus said, "Truth is the only thing that changes not. In all the world, there are two things. The one is truth, the other is falsehood, and falsehood that which seems to be. Now the truth is aught, and has no cause, and yet it is the cause of everything. Falsehood is aught, and yet it is the manifest of right. Whatever has been made will be unmade. That which begins must end. All things that can be seen by human eyes are manifests of aught, are aught, and so must pass away. The things we see are but reflexes just appearing, while the ethers vibrate so and so, and when conditions change, they disappear. The holy breath is truth, is that which was, is, and evermore shall be. It cannot change nor pass away." Lamas said, "You answer well. Now what is man?" And Jesus said, "Man is the truth, and falsehood strangely mixed. Man is the breath made flesh, so truth and falsehood are co-joined in him, and then they thrive, and naught goes down, and man is truth abides." Again Lamas asked, "What do you say of power?" And Jesus said, "It is a manifest, is the result of force. It is but not. All illusion, nothing more. Force changes not, but power changes as the ethers change. Force is the will of Allah, is omnipotent, and power is that will in manifest directed by the breath. There is a power in the winds, a power in the waves, a power in the lightning stroke, a power in the human arm, a power in the eye. The ethers cause these powers to be, and thought of Elohim, of angel, or other thinking things directs the force. When it has done its work, the power is no more." Again Lamas asks, "Of understanding, what have you to say?" And Jesus said, "It is the rock on which man builds himself. It is the gnosis of the aught and of the not, of falsehood and of truth. It is the knowledge of the lower self, the sensing of the powers of man himself." Again Lamas asks, "Of wisdom, what have you to say?" And Jesus said, "It is this consciousness that man is aught, that Allah and man are one. Naught is not. That power is but illusion. That heaven and earth and hell are not above, around, below, but in, which in light of aught comes not, and Allah is all." Lamas asked, "Pray, what is faith?" And Jesus said, "Faith is the surety of the omnipotence of Allah and man, the certainty that man will reach deific life. Salvation is a ladder, reaching from the heart of man to the heart of Allah. It has 3 steps. Belief is first, and this is what man thinks perhaps is truth. And faith is next, and this is what man knows is truth. Fruition is last, and this is man himself, the truth. Belief is lost in faith, and in fruition, faith is lost, and man is saved when he has reached deific life, when he and Allah are one." Right? And the key for this is out of the second to last line. Fruition is last, and this is man himself, the truth. So as we evolve in this, and we start getting closer and closer to our relationship with God, our relationship with Allah, our relationship with the Creator, whatever the entity is, that connection is what allows more things to manifest. Like we were talking about, as soon as we got into more science and stopped being nigger, then stuff started going good. Stuff started getting better in life. You know what I mean? Things start to open up to you. You're more accepting of the reality because you are becoming that reality. So as we start putting this information to our people and then they don't want it or whatever case is, know that that's on them, not yourself. Oh, well, I didn't get to them right, or I could have delivered it better, or it has nothing to do with your relaying it. It's the truth. And if they can't get it, then that's something up with them. Their vibration is not in the right place, because it should be easy, as we all have accepted that truth, knowing that, yeah, we're not Negro, black, colored. And that's just what it is. That's just the truth. You know what I mean? And the denseness of the people to not even be able to accept that, and that's not even, going into all the literature or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to have that confidence, knowing that what Drew Ali brought us was for us to really have this thing called truth and use it, one for ourselves, posterity, family, whatever like that, and then the rest of it to serve man.
I tell people all the time, your nationality is your morals, your values, and your integrity.
Mm-hmm.
You call yourself black, Negro, colored, you have no morals, you have no values, you have no integrity.
Yep.
When they took our nationality away from us, they took your morals, your values, your integrity, what you stand on. When you don't have that, you sway with anything.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gay. Okay. Oh, I'm transgender. Okay. Oh, I'm you take the Constitution away. Okay. You
Yep.
stand on nothing. You have no grounds. You have no foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Your nationality is the foundation and the basis of who you are. And that's what people fail to realize and understand.
Yeah.
We're not belittling you by saying you're not black.
Yeah.
We just know the etymology of the word.
Yeah.
We just know where the origin of it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So we just want to educate you and know who you are. Where did the word black come from? Who started calling you that?
Yeah.
And I like to add in too.
There's a lot more.
I look at it like this too. The information that's brought to our people, just like you had, put out as far as the lower self and the higher self. A lot of our people are still in their lower self. And for a lot of dwell in your house, you have to come into your higher self.
Yeah.
You have to cleanse all the foolishness that you was, immersing yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
So for this information to resonate, you have to start going into a process of healing yourself. And when I say healing yourself, that means all the mental abstracts, the indoctrination, the impurities that you've been, induced to. So that's why a lot of our people haven't really got into this information, because they don't want to relinquish being the devil. And a lot of people say, well, the devil is not real. Yes, it is, because the higher self is your God self, and the lower self is your devil self, and that's the only devil that's really permeating here.
But I was thinking about asking this too to everybody here. What do you think it's gonna take something for us to get them all of that, or is it forget them, let them be where they're at, and we build it who wants to?
Now I'm gonna quote this, what the prophet said.
Yeah.
Our people only learn at a point of the sword.
Mm.
They are stiff-necked Moors. Okay, so that means you have to be persistent in putting the information out. That don't mean that you have to be roddy in your face. No, we have internet, we have certain tools. We, just like you said, we came and we gave you the information, we delivered the message, and it's up to you to take it upon yourself to check that information out, to do some research, to really see what nationality is all about, and what a nation of people, the hidden history that, and it's illustrious. It's worldwide. But the box is up in a box, and you black. You got you a nice, shiny, black box. Once you open that box, all your history, your power, everything is in there.
Yeah.
So you have to take that box and open it, and take everything that belongs to you and apply it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I would say too, like, if Noah's brother came, all the prophets, Jesus, Moses, Buddha, Muhammad, they came, and they weren't accepted by everybody. You know what I'm saying? So they were the best messengers. And even if people wouldn't accept that, and clearly it's about the one receiving it.
The one who receives it. Exactly. Islam. Go ahead.
As my text, you can text me because I have to tune in online.
Yeah.
They're asking, are you reading from the regular Quran to Q? And I'm telling them, no, you're not. Would you mind just explaining that for a quick,
just what?
New?
Why we're reading from this one? The difference. Okay.
Completely new.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So there's the Moorish Quran, which Noble Jew Ali prepared for us to have our own holy book. And then there's the Islamic Quran, which is the Muhammad, quote unquote, version, right? So the reason why we read from this is because our prophet brought this one, right? And there's things that's in this that, you know, are not the exact same, but are relative to the things in that, just as the things in the Hindu books, Buddhist books, you know, Zoroastrian books, whatever culture that we look toward, their holy book has the same message as the other holy books, right? So we can pick any one of them and use them. But we're specifically using this one because it focuses on the information that our people specifically needed, just like those holy books focus on the people who those ones were brought to, right? And then they have their own prophet that brought theirs, and they might call their God something that only they call that. But then when you check everybody else, everybody's God's omnipotent, so then must be the same one, just different aspects of the same one. So same thing with this. This is a holy book for the Moors. If you talk to, you know, Mormons, they got theirs. Their prophet brought their stuff to them, and nobody's gonna be debating them about, well, where they get that from and how come, you know, whatever like that. They just go with that's theirs. So we do this so that we have our holy Quran that we promote, that we use, that we prove that there's truth in this, so that we don't get confused with the people who are on the Muslim side doing salat and going across the Atlantic to go run around buildings and all that stuff, when, you know, we were told Mecca is Chicago by our prophet. We were told Mecca's over there. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Mark.
And to put that into perspective too, the prophet came to get us out of dogmatic religion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's divinely prepared. Say they loosened the keys from, you see what I'm saying, India, where the secrets were for our salvation. So when we look at dogmatic practices now, just like you get the Christianity version, etc., Islamic version, etc., you have the purest, cleanest version, just like the prophet said, our nation is an upright, pure, and clean nation.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go into the principles of what the prophet already has set up. He set us up. That's why when more say, you know, prophet didn't bring this, the prophet didn't bring that. You know, I'm looking at them. I'm trying to see if they really comprehend what the prophet really prepared divinely for the more salvation.
Yeah.
So that's why our book is more in tune with us being a national nation of people that was the founders of civilization. When you read that Circle 7, Quran chapter 47, explains to you in detail where your lineage comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So within that, within that aspect, like I have a debate online with Muslims all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And once I go into Muslim and goes into the practice of Muhammad himself, he was a Mormon. Okay? And I chop them down because they'll go into, well, we don't talk about his, ethnicity, and we don't talk about how he looked. and all this, that, and third, but truth is odd. And odd is Allah. Because truth is with Allah.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna go into these bases, see what I'm saying? I'm gonna rip you apart with nothing but facts. Because that's why we are more scientists. We are here to take, analyze, then break it down, then put it back together if we want to, or take it apart. But we standing on truth. So that's why I love my prophet, and I'm gonna stand on what he brought us, because I understand the concepts and the principles and the merit that he put forth. Because a lot of people will more, I hear more say, well, you know, the prophet this, the prophet didn't do that. Well, then you wouldn't know you was a Moor unless no Ali came here and established
You wouldn't have known.
You'll still be calling yourself one of these brands.
Yeah.
So please give homage.
Yeah.
Supreme
Straight.
honors to our prophet. He's a universal prophet. And that's within the case that when you look at him, okay, he looks just like me and you.
Yeah.
Look at the significance of what he stands for. Islam, I hear the floor. No?
Islam more. Any other thoughts?
I want to add to that. And the only thing I can really say about it is we have to honor everyone who has brought forth the light.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Mhm.
If you're moving and you're moving the right way, you're doing the thing that is true. You're living by that, you're standing on that. How can we say we're not listening? Because first of all, a lot of things that we're just now becoming able to grasp. Other people was giving us this information a long time ago,
Before.
and people thought they were crazy.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna pick and choose who we're gonna listen to when they're manifesting truth?
Yeah.
So if someone comes to us and says this, that, and the other, and we don't believe it at the time, but we're with them, we're listening, and then they start manifesting these things that they were telling us, we're able to see them for ourselves. We're able to research them for ourselves. We're able to add on to what they've already given us.
Yeah.
We know what we're working with. Because guess what? If it's true that Master Musa mastered alchemy, then that means he was able to make others rich as well.
Yeah.
So now we got to look at it in the same terms of the knowledge.
Knowledge. Yeah.
Mansa Musa was a title. And,
Exactly.
And the Moors held a school. So for you to even become a Mansa Musa, you have to learn alchemy. You have to be in study. See, knowledge is power. And our people got to understand that we are the most, see, we'll take our lower selves and we'll still be intelligent in the lower self. Understand that. Devil's intelligent. He's tricky. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand your intelligence is everything. So once you are able to reprogram yourself out of that program, you're going to have to go into a manifestation. See what I'm saying? Evolve. You got to evolve out of that.
Yeah.
The cocoon is going to wrap you tight because you're going to be thinking, because I had to fight.
Yeah.
I really had to fight.
And too, like the truth is like a tree. The tree got many roots, and that root got different paths to it.
Yeah.
So if you own the path, like my exact walk might not be your exact walk,
Right.
but we'll meet each other on that path.
Right.
It's like everybody don't get the truth at the same time, so it's best that you, if you know the truth, that you be a demonstration of the truth. Because talking to somebody, like I can talk to you in the face, but like y'all talk about the manifestations, the demonstration. Like if you demonstrating, that demonstration is right there showing that it's the truth manifesting in reality instead of the flesh. It's right there for you to see. And you take the metaphysical things you learn and put them into effect. That's where the physical and the spiritual meet. You know, but like that's the higher and the lower self too. You know, we live in random duality. So you gotta kind of find balance. Like especially when you're dealing with other people trying to express yourself to them or what it is that you got, like especially with us being Moors, is to let them do what they're gonna do with it, and you just continue to demonstrate. They'll gravitate or not, because if you read Symbolic 2, he talks about a certain age bracket or it's a certain years you might be born that you just won't get it. It's just not for you to get now. It's not your cycle. You know what I mean? But I hear it for that.
It's love.
Just to add on to what you were saying is that everyone had like, it was at one point we were in the church and it was one point, then me myself started in church, then moved on to Cherokee tribe, then Black Power movement, then Cherokee tribe, and it's different. It's a process for everyone. And then when you first learn truth, then it's like you want to spread it with the world. But that it's not for you to go and try to convince anyone or debate with anyone or anything. As you know, and Mama said that you be that walking demonstration, and then you'll be the magnet. I don't no way know how try to preach to anywhere now, but people look at me up like, you're more right, or well, what is it that you do? And then just because they see how I move. They watch the things that I do. They watch how I interact with people. And when you do that, you don't have to convince anyone of anything, because they're going to come to you and they're going to ask questions, because the truth is just it's coming off of you as a magnet. I do.
To me, it's what Grand Sheik was saying about fruition. When you come into this, it's not just I'm just saying. That's just the beginning. You profess it, you claim it, and then you go on and you study these and you live these, and others start to see them in you, come out of you. That's the fruition I think Grand Sheik was speaking of, when we go through these stages of, learning as a more natural.
Islam more.
And then when the prophet speaks about you can't put old wine in this church, you can't put new wine in the old skin.
Yeah.
And so it's about who's ready to receive that truth. And so even you can injure someone by bringing them truth if they're not ready.
Not ready.
And so really the thing is, how do we get people to become new skins?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's really how you're gonna change the people.
Yeah. And I think, like the Moor said, that's just about them being able to engage it. Being seeing them more online or whatever, and then engaging them more is two different things. Being at MHHS and getting the nut and then going to a lecture is two totally different things. So I think a lot of it is just like you're saying, they have to manifest it. Like even when we first came into this, researching online, then the more I said, yo, you got, I could totally tell you so much. Like you have to be at the building. You have to be around the Moors to know what this is really going to be about. You're not going to get it the way that you're supposed to get it,
The experience being the best teachers.
Yeah.
Too. The more things that I experienced, it made the next situation that I endured go a lot smoother, especially when it came to dealing with traveling, taking flights and stuff like that. The first time it was just like they asked me questions, I just had to answer the questions that they asked, and I knew the answers because of studying. So it was just like, oh, you know what you're talking about, so go ahead.
Yeah.
They couldn't refute it, what I mean? That's standing on the truth. They say you represent the truth will represent you.
Same thing with me, since I've been in this, I'm a firearm at the house, I had a little engagement where I was telling you about with the eviction or whatever. And, I stopped them for almost 8 months or whatever, but they still came through, and put me out anyway. But they took my firearm because I told them I had it at home, and they secured it, took it from me, and put everything else out. And then once they put everything out, it was like, here you go, more. Gave me my stuff back, gave me my gun back. Now, I'm Moorish American national, but was a convicted felon. And this is on everything. So experience as me being a Moor, okay, I've been living upright. And Allah has been working in my favor.
Yeah.
Because any other time I would have been dead. See what I'm saying? So this nationality card that I have in my pocket is my salvation. See what I'm saying? Because Allah is my salvation. And the prophet said, don't be wavering and talking radical.
Yeah.
It's for your salvation.
Yeah.
So when we just have to learn how to implement the principles of what the prophet had brought us.
Yeah.
And live that truly upright, because I am a testimony myself. And I love the prophet. I love being a Moorish American national. I'm Moroccan. Okay. And I love being a Moor. And I want my people to understand they're Moors. And once they understand that, then the world is ours.
Yeah.
Because we already rich Moors.
Yeah.
But the word is already ours. It's Islam. It's I said, "I'm a master. I can't worry about the next man or woman."
Yeah.
But once they come into it, then the world is ours together. But I can't say what's going to be because it already is.
Right.
There's nothing that ever since we've come to our knowledge of self, and we have our spirituality, what more science brings to us. Anything we put our mind to and we want to be. Yeah, like you can't say you live in the Moorings where the Moors living in the Moorings. Right off the river. So if there is, I can't think of one thing that we wanted to manifest in this reality that wasn't able to be, but so many people come into this trying to do a process and procedure. But if you come into it and learn that the master of spirituality, then everything's obtainable. When you go through that airport, you have no issue at all giving them your nationality card because you know truth. You know that Allah walks with you. You know that Noble Drew Ali is standing there with you. Mm-hmm. You know the knowledge and the power and the ancestors that come behind you. So there is nothing to fear because the word is already yours, and it doesn't matter when the next man comes into it because we're already here. Yeah. So it's already yours.
Upright, pure, fearless.
Fearless. It's love.
It's love.
It's love.
I'm just putting out the metaphysical meaning of truth. All right, peace, Mark. Truth, the absolute, that which accords with God as divine principle, that which is, has been, and ever will be, that which eternally is. The truth of God is reality, the same yesterday and today, yea, and forever. The verities of being are eternal and have always existed. Truth abides in fullness at the very core of man's being. As his consciousness awareness expands, he touches the everlasting truth. What seems new is but the unveiling of that which always has been. The basic principle of truth is that the mind of each individual may be consciously unified with divine mind through the indwelling Christ. By affirming at one ment with God mind, we eventually realize that the perfect mind which was in Jesus Christ, the road of truth, the straight and narrow path along which spirit directs, and which proves so smooth and safe that one refuses to allow oneself to be misled by habit into trusting sense perception. Truth source of truth. God is a special personal father and all his children, and from no one source can they get absolute truth. Spirit of truth. God's thought projecting into our mind. Ideas that will build spiritual consciousness like that of Jesus. The Spirit of truth watches every detail of our life. When we ask and by affirmation proclaim its presence, it brings new life into both mind and body and moves us to observe spiritual and physical laws that restore health. Metaphysical meaning of truth. Chapter 9. The fame of Jesus, Jesus attends the feast in Bahar, and here he taught human equality. The fame of Jesus as a teacher spread through all the land, and people came from near and far to hear his words of truth. And that's going back to, again, Drew Ali with, making sure that this message is getting out, changing the people's literature, hammering in the truth. Jesus as a teacher spread through all the land, which is letting you know that he was in an active mode, in an active role. He was in a role of doing something. And what he was doing spread throughout all the land that the people knew. That when he comes, he's going to be bringing truth. We need to go check him, see what's good. Chapter 10. And Jesus tarried not. Among the guests was one, a tiller of the soil, a generous soul, a seeker after truth, who loved the words that Jesus spoke. And Jesus went with him, and in his home abode. Among the guests was one, a tiller of the soil, a generous soul, a seeker after truth. So the only way truth is going to be got is if it's seeked out. And another key with this book here, for the people who are looking at the different Qurans and whatever the case is, in the Quran that we have, we can take everywhere that it says Jesus and say Drew Ali there, right? Because this is going through all the same things that Drew Ali had to go through in order to get us this particular information that was supposedly, taken away by the Palestinians and the Hindus and whoever else had information to themselves, not sharing it with the world. And then interesting too that among the guests, when they were dealing with the Hindus, among the guests was a tiller of the soil, or somebody who's actually doing work, which, there's certain work that, like you were saying earlier, builds certain things in you. You know what I mean? There's certain things, and more so in the line of the trades and stuff like that, that you learn certain things that you're going to be carrying on for the rest of your life. It's gonna be something that becomes part of you, but also helps you evolve into this divine one with Allah being. Whereas a lot of the institutionalized teaching is moving away from the hands-on work into more, the mind work or whatever the case is. But that's needed, certain things getting up, 4 a.m. to go, take the eggs from under the hen and all that does something to the being. When we think about majority of our ancestors who, things like that were second nature, and then now we look at the generations going forward and it's, electronics is second nature, and how to cook is, they don't even know to cut onions or whatever. You know what I mean? You boil an egg, you boil the water. Can't even boil water. Right. Any comments or questions? Any questions or comments?
I was just going to add a story to what you said.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
5-year-old nephew, and he knows everything about computers and telephones and tablet. And I was like, okay, well, you know, all this, let's do some words. You know, he has some sight words that's not on with him. And I'm telling, you know, I'm explaining to him the letter, the sound, and using it in a sentence. But he doesn't recognize any words, but he can go on the computer, hit the app, you know, hit the tablet, and pull up everything.
Pull up whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they taking it away from him. So, you know, now when I bring it to him, he's like, oh, it's boring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what you're supposed to know what you're doing. You know, like, and I was telling my sister, I was like, you know, this is, to me, what I see school doing. You know, they taking it away from the children. My older nephew, they don't have books no more, they have tablets. You know, they bring their own tablets. So I'm just like, in cursing, going out there, you know, etymology.
Getting ready to just leave, like, they put it, they don't even use regular clock, you know, like the 12 clock, the hand clock. They don't even want to use that.
Yeah.
So my son, he's 10 years old, and just like you said, he's all in the computers. He knows how to program and do certain things. So I was telling him, well, why don't you, you know, get a profession, you know, be a computer, you know, programmer. But you got to learn how to read. You got to learn how to. You gotta know how to basically write program and then code. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna need that. You see what I'm saying? So I have to like break it down and talk to him. You see what I'm saying? And then push it because he see me in the fed, he see me in my dean in my studies. So I every time he sees me, I like, okay, get your book. You know, give me 30 minutes, give me an hour, I don't care, just give me something. Then after you give me that, you see what I'm saying, you can go pew, back to your computer, back to your game. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta compromise with these children now. You see what I'm saying? But once you get them, once you bake them, then it'll be like second nature. They'll just go ahead and start routine. Peace, my brother.
Islam. Peace and love, bro. All right, peace. Pieces.
Speaking on truth, because like, I don't know, I had this thought earlier. I was just like, truth is gold. You know, and like, the gold could be a part of a bunch of stuff, but until you refine it, you don't like really get the truth out of it. But it's interesting in that chapter that Tiller ends up, he loves truth. And then he's the one who finds the gold. So like, there's something with that relationship. And the truth. It's valuable.
And also goes to the thing of, you know, people looking at the allegory, the metaphysics of it, you know, or the hidden meanings of things, that when you look at all these people with the gold on and wearing gold and gold this, gold that, gold, and they have no truth in them, even though they have all this gold or whatever, right? You know,
They're not working towards the truth.
That's
what it's all about. You know, work towards that truth. And it's manifested. You know, that's enjoyment.
Chapter 17, chapter 19. Chapter 19. Behold, chapter 19. Jesus appears fully materialized to the Eastern sages in the palace of Prince Ravana in India, to the magician priests in Persia. Three wise men speak in praise of the personality of the Nazarene. Verse 17, behold, I am not myth made of the fleeting winds, for I am flesh and bone and brawn. but I can cross the borderland at will. And they walked together there a long, long time. Then Jesus said, I go my way, but you shall go to all the world and teach the gospel of the omnipotence of man, the power of truth, and the resurrection of the dead. He who believes his gospel of the Son of Man shall never die. The dead shall live again. So, when we go back to Drew Ali, and if this is him making reference to these things, all right, that he's going to go his way, and the duty of the Moors who have it now, since he went his way, to go do whatever he is to do. What we're taking this for is to go to all the world and teach the gospel of the omnipotence of man and Allah being one, the power of truth, and the resurrection of the dead. And the resurrection of the dead is the same as us coming into consciousness and being who it is that we are now from that dead state. Right? And Drew Ali making reference to, hey, if you don't feel this is what it is, then you just go back to that dead state that I found you in. Because that's really all you're probably good for. Chapter 20. This one's short. You could read all this one. Holy instructions and warning for all young men. Beware, young men, beware of all the allurements of wantonness, and let not the harlot tempt thee to excess in her delights. The madness of desire shall defeat its own pursuits. From the blindness of its rage thou shalt rush upon destruction. Therefore, give not up thy heart to her sweet enticements, neither suffer thy soul to be enslaved by her enchanting delusions. The foundation of health, which must supply the stream of pleasure, shall quickly be dried up, and every spring of joy shall be exhausted. In the prime of thy life, old age shall overtake thee. The sun shall decline in the morning of thy days. But when virtue and modesty enlighten her charms, and luster of a beautiful woman is brighter than the stars of heaven, and the influence of her power, it is in vain to resist. The whiteness of her bosom transcendeth the lily. Her smile is more delicious than the garden of roses. The innocence of her eyes is like that of the turtle. Simplicity and truth dwell in her heart. The kisses of her mouth are sweeter than honey. The perfumes of Arabia breathe from her lips. Shut not thy bosom to the tenderness of love. The purity of its flame shall ennoble thy heart, and soften it to receive the fairest impressions. The innocence of her eyes is like that of the turtle. Simplicity and truth dwell in her heart. And that's going back again to the lessons of, how so many, peace, how so many are wayward at this time because of not having these lessons. Like just these things here. Young men realizing where the goddess ones reside, how to pick the right ones, knowing that simplicity is the truth. She's all extravagant and need this, need that, your hair and nails, and then it's probably a little bit more than you probably deal with, right? Chapter 21. Marriage instructions from man and wife from the noble prophet. Verse 5. Lo, yonder she walketh in maiden sweetness with innocence in her mind. and modesty on her cheek. Her hand seeketh employment, her foot delighteth not in gating abroad. She is clothed with neatness, she is fed with temperance. Humility and meekness are as a crown of glory circling her head. On her tongue dwelleth music, the sweetness of honey floweth from her lips. Decency is in all her words, in her answers are mildness and truth. Submission and obedience are the lessons of her life, and peace and happiness are her reward. Right, going back again with the lessons being able to help the children, the lesson being able to help young men, the lesson being able to help women, the lesson being able to help family, lessons being able to help relationships, lessons being able to help and anything that you need. Everything's in here. And as we read these these literature, and we continue to read them and continue to read them, and there's always something popping up. There's always something you never seen before, even though you read this 50 times. There's always a new perspective, and that's part of the brilliance of, you know, certain things getting read. Because when you read Unto Thee I Grant and Aquarian Gospel, you see that, okay, well, I can see why he didn't put this in there, why he didn't put that in there. You know what I mean? It doesn't really apply, or, you know what I mean? It's not needed for the madness that we're going through. You know, it's interesting the selected chapters that he took, you know, to create this work. Chapter 23, Holy Instructions for Thy Children. Verse 5. So shall he rise like a cedar on the mountains, his head shall be seen above the trees of the forest. A wicked son is a reproach to his father, but he that doth right is an honor to his gray hairs. The soul is thine own, let it not want cultivation, and the seed which thou sowest, that also shalt thou reap. Teach him obedience, and he shall bless thee. Teach him modesty, and he shall not be ashamed. Teach him gratitude, and he shall receive gifts. Teach him charity, and he shall gain love. Teach him temperance, and he shall have health. Teach him prudence, and fortune shall attend him. Teach him justice, and he shall be honored by the world. Teach him sincerity, and his own heart shall not reproach him. Teach him diligence, and his wealth shall increase. Teach him benevolence, and his mind shall be exalted. Teach him science, and his life shall be useful. Teach him religion, and his death shall be happy. And what? Now, I wanted to read that out separate and then go back with regard to the part about truth. So this from the beginning now. Consider thou art a parent, the importance of thy trust. The being thou hast produced, it is thy duty to support. Upon thee also it dependeth whether the child of thy bosom be a blessing or a curse to thyself, and useful or a worthless member to the community. Prepare him early with instruction, and season his mind with the maxims of truth. Watch the bent of his inclinations. Set him right in his youth, and let no evil habit gain strength with his years. Season his mind with the maxims of truth. And then when you go on to the maxims of truth, there's all this stuff. Just dealing with truth and law, and how relative truth is to law being what it really is supposed to be, and how far away it's been removed now. Truth has been taken absolutely out of law now, where now color and all this other stuff is in there, and the perception of the dumb public is that that's what the lie is. The falsehood being masqueraded around as if it's the truth. Yeah. Whereas if they prepared them early with instruction and seasoned their mind with the maxims of truth, they wouldn't be going through half the madness that they're going through even right now. Like you're talking about the trans thing, and there was this one video with a dude went into the women's washroom or whatever. And then he's talking about, you can't tell me I'm not trans. Right? Like real. And they were like, well, how are you stuck? How are you stuck? But that's the madness, I'd say put Tyson in a ring with a girl talking about, we could do this. We could do this. Nuts.
That's just like that incident with the basketball player in Russia or whatever. You know what I mean? That's a man. That's a man.
Crazy.
He all caught up in the political thing with Russia, traded him out for, the arms dealers and stuff. All political under the guise of, saving America. That was a deal.
You say that you're going around this DNA test or something, so we don't have hope right anyway, it wasn't said.
Right.
It's real.
We get food. Look, it's Hollywood. It's ran over people all day, every day through the social media, propaganda, propagandizing everything that we watch. Everything.
They know the power of the mind. So
Right.
it's like, they going after the mind.
Yeah.
It's like, I watch some of the mind stuff, but I'm watching it with
You wrote it though.
Your average person, they get consumed by it, like to the point where they can't decipher, reality from within watching on TV or how to really act in a real life situation.
Yeah.
Like, I met a lot of more online, and it's definitely more in person. It's like you'll keep learning. They don't even know how to really socialize. Like they don't know how to communicate, talk, keep time. You know what I mean? Most definitely time. It's like you want us to hear today. We could have been here earlier, but some unforeseen happened. But normally, dealing with people, nobody makes no meetings on time. We don't even make the meeting. It's like be some excuse. It's like no true dedication. Again, everybody has a lot of work to do on themselves before they, let's say, get into a group. Because like, what are you bringing to the group? Or the group down? Because you got a lot of people that's this out of sync and trying to do one thing. How do you do it?
Yeah.
Well, I want to interject into that because I was going through the same process, like getting with boards, trying to do certain processes, and most of them you have to teach them first, like because some of them coming in, just like you said, we thinking that they, are competent, and they're really not. See what I'm saying? So we have to, now stop what we're doing, and let's educate everybody now. So at least have y'all on my level.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Or another one that got some expertise, he can come in and have you on his level. So that's each one, reach one, teach one. Yeah. But if we're just jumping in and immersing ourselves into certain things that we think it, you see what I'm saying? Ordinary that, Cujo got his end, Malik got his end, Amir got his end, but we really don't.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? We just getting together, rock.
Yeah.
See, that's what we got to stop too with some of these Moorish groups that's out here online. See what I'm saying? Because they're duping people. Just like we said with these packages and stuff like that too. Because they're not really studying. Because if they were really studying, they wouldn't even harm their people in that manner.
That way, yeah. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Because we're dealing with the most dangerous people. See, the policy enforcers, they are dangerous. You gotta understand that. We're dealing with them on a daily basis. So once you coming in with your law and your history and your studies, you better make sure it's accurate.
Yeah.
And you're standing on what's right. You see, you're not trying to be, I'm a Moor now, and that stuff don't apply to me and all that, because that's what they want you to have a sovereign. They want to have you label you as a sovereign citizen.
Yes.
And that's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Because you can't be a sovereign citizen, just sovereign. My nation, and I'm a part of that nation, which makes me sovereign. See, so when when they put out this propaganda as far as sovereign citizen, no. We're just sovereigns here on our land. That you people are doing commerce here on our land, commerce and amity. Now, when you go into their venues, they got the big amity gold fringe.
That's the part we shouldn't even make it to.
See, that's what I'm saying. But those for those Moors that go into their venues. I don't go into their venues.
For real.
See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of Moors do things and go into things because not knowing, and then we have these other Moors that's putting a battery in their back. Do it more. Do it more. Do it.
Make sure you go live too when you
get
it.
And then once you do it, all the Moors they're nowhere near to help you and whatever you immerse yourself in.
Yeah.
It's no raft. It's no lasso. No rope. No nothing. What? I'm out here. See? So that's why we have to start thinking consciously, like as far as once we start coming together in our groups, we need to go through the temples, like the prophet said.
Yeah.
Everybody want to go around it. Go around the temple. No.
Yeah.
No, that's where our salvation is at. Salvation is in the temple. That's why we're having the problems that we're having right now, because people are in those temples doing legislation on our behalf without even us even saying anything about it.
Having no say.
No say at all.
It's like them getting the crowd out of the way so they could do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like for me, I see the crowd kind of problem of the temple being like an embassy sort of to us. Like you should go to the temple and learn everything you need to know.
And then I'll prepare you for government.
Yeah, but it's not like that. Like even you come out of the Knox here, you were Smith Johnson. Now I'm here Street Hill. I'm supposed to do all my new business.
And your new
past that, you know what I mean? But they have all these different roadblocks. So that's the part I'm at where I want to learn how to operate there. Now that I got the old business out of the way and I'm moving forward as who I am, like I need to be able to have all those freedoms. Because it's like nationality, you shouldn't lose anything.
Yeah. Just because you change your nationality.
At all. You should be able to gain. Once you
exactly.
Once you add on.
Exactly.
Go with what you're saying. You got Declaration of Human Rights and rights of indigenous people. They're letting them know, and you know that they're supposed to help you out. You're not supposed to go around what they're doing. You know, like amalgamate what they're doing into what you're doing. They're supposed to fix their thing to match you because we have the right to self-determination. So there goes the identification card. You need 2 forms. We got 3 forms for you. It's like everything is right there, but you have people stepping in the way. I think that more is like, well, while we're out here studying, let's study things that are not to say nothing wrong with history, none of that. But study things that will help you.
I've been immersing myself into trust law right now because I understand the basis of what trust law is. Trust law is government. You know what I'm saying? So once we understand trust law, just like the prophet does with QB trust, like they don't talk about that. That's the state. He was industrious. He had businesses. You know what I'm saying? He had trust. He had all this for the Moors. And then what they do, they come in, they kill him, they throw him out of his building, they do a ritual around his casket, they make him black. You understand? They start to claim to be him. See, this is what's blowing my mental, because once I start dealing with Moors, like I'm thinking that they're the Moor. Let this Moor, we're gonna do something. get with them. No, they going over this way. You see what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, because that's why the light bulb has been turned on again in my brain. Like, okay, let's fall back, go into your trust law, get with those ones like I know you, get together and start doing studying and start, because I want to do an LLC in business in my name too for Morris. For Morris, with the trust, we all put in the de facto birth certificates within that trust. We all, you see what I'm saying? We all just throw it in there. And then those birth certificates and Social Security numbers, that all going to work for us on our behalf. And then from there, we already have a theocratic temple that the prophet set up. Then that's when we start getting the buildings. That's when we start, doing business in our new names, because we already had that trust and everything set up, just like the prophet said. But this do business in your new name.
This is what part of the thing with the Torah was doing.
Right.
That when we go to these respective areas, now whoever shows up, okay, now these are the morals for this area.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to discuss things like that online because everyone isn't there. I'm 99.9% of words online don't read.
Yeah.
And until you have a phone conversation with them, that's when you find
or
out.
meet them personally.
Yeah. So when you move on further and you have to, like this, it's great. Because we're finding more in our community that we can build with one-on-one and not just on a computer.
Right, yeah,
so
for
now
sure.
we can feel
For
each
sure.
other energy. Now we can see truth. Because it's hard to see truth online. And then we get together in each other's home or a sacred place, and then we build on these other things. Because when you have these discussions online, now the Moors that don't read are taking bits and pieces of what you're saying, and then they're gonna run and try to do something and have
with the bits and pieces,
of what you're talking about.
Listen to this too, mother, because I'm the home on what you just said. There's a lot of things I have said that Moors then took. And then they implemented it now, but I'm thinking to myself, like, you really know what you're doing? See, it's a lot of, just like you said, I really do agree with that, because that's why Moors have to come together privately. See what I'm saying? Because that's when you're dealing with the private side and you're dealing with the public side. But now they took the private and infused it with the public, which the bureaucrats had done easily with the immunity clause and the policy enforcement. You see what I'm saying? Some brutality. It's not brutality, that's police misconduct. And you're allowing people from different nationalities to come here and get a job here, and they don't care about us, they're going to kill us. Period. So when we're looking at legislation for our people in the stand, within that stand, see what I'm saying? Those who know need to try to get together and be like, look, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna build. We're not gonna even tell nobody nothing. Until we get it up
and running.
And once it's up and running, then I don't care, go tell the world.
And even then you still don't have to tell people, because those who are, like as we were talking about earlier, you're a magnet. So when people are at that level, they will find you. You don't have to go and tell the whole world anything, because it's what's meant, they'll find you. I found times when it was my time to come into this knowledge, I seeked out.
And just like with me too, like when I started more science, I met Abdullah, I met Cujo in the flesh now. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm really about this more science. And when you go in my community, people who know me, Malik wears fans every day, or he wears a turban. That's all he talks about is more science. See what I'm saying? So it's in our people's heart what they want. You know what I mean? Like if you really about this, it's in your heart. And the works that you put out, just like you said, the people's gonna come to you like a magnet, because you're gonna get your own tribes. They're gonna come to you. So just like you said, we just gotta just do the work. You know what I mean? And the people who sees and recognize that work, they're gonna come to you.
Right. Mother, you had something? You had a comment or a question? All right. Chapter 35. Verse 21, and in the laws he hath ordained as the rule of life, so kindly hath he united thy duty to the nature, that obedience to his precepts is happiness to thyself. O praise his goodness with sons of thanksgiving, and meditate in silence on the wonders of his love. Let thy heart overflow with gratitude and not an acknowledgement. Let the language of thy lips speak praise and adoration. Let the actions of thy life show thy love to his law. Allah is just and righteous, and will judge the earth with equity and truth. Right? Going back to the same thing you're talking about. That whole realm. Trust, equity, you know.
Because they see what they want to add on to that shit. Like once, you know, we deal with more so students, right? And then you have these ones that's online, that's a part of these temples. They'll try to give you a watered down version of what the prophet brought.
Mm-hmm.
See, and then they'll tell you, go get your driver's license, go vote, and knowing in that manner is genocide.
Yeah.
You know, you wearing fez, you in this Moorish Science Temple, and these people calling your people black on a daily basis. That's genocide. Declaration of rights. You see what I'm saying? Through a label.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you call yourself a Moorish Science Temple? Because it's still science up there, buddy.
Yeah.
Still got science in that.
Mm-hmm.
See, so that's when I look at the fraud, like the folly for what it is,
Yeah.
see, like it's folly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mark.
I had a running, well, I didn't have a running, and me and my kinsman was barbecue, and I was just manning the grill, and a couple of policy enforcers walked up, you know, they just walked in the yard, and I just kept grilling, you know, manning the grill.
Yeah.
And I seen how they were coming, you know, and they were just like, "Are we conducting an investigation?" And so I'm like, "Damn." I'm like, "What you call me?"
Yeah.
You know, and they was like, "No, it was over there." And, you know, and I was like, "So why you over there
Yeah.
bothering me?" You know, and I'm like, you know, I don't get it. And then some more came, and you know, they was talking to other people. So when I told them, I was like, you know, y'all still haven't articulated what crime y'all, you know, accusing of or investigating.
Yeah.
You got to call somewhere else. You saw a group of melanated people.
Yeah. So you're coming over here. Yeah.
So he was like, "Well, I'm not talking to you." And he got on the radio and he was like, "Well, that's sovereign citizen." I said, "I'm not a sovereign citizen."
This guy.
Don't be national. I said, "Don't try to be nationalized."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know
List
you're
or
trying
some.
to call
Yeah.
me in so they can, you know, I'm like, but I'm not a sovereign citizen. So my nation is sovereign. So that's why I understand where you were coming from. Like these policies are very dangerous because they're just gonna try to keep their labels off on you, and if you don't, you know, stop them or correct them,
They're gonna roll.
Yeah, they're gonna roll.
Yeah.
You assume jurisdiction.
Yep.
Jurisdiction.
You know.
Yep.
And once they assume jurisdiction, that's it. They're gonna put you in that English legacy. You see a non-de-beer, you know what I mean, and then they're gonna go ahead and articulate you into that scrawl. You see, but what more with me, like I had one of the sisters get kidnapped, and they asked me and another sister. We went down there on her behalf, and we went to two venues. We went into the sheriff department, and then we went to the court system, Supreme Court system. Well, not you had to go and talk to the DA. So we went to the courthouse, not the courthouse, but the sheriff's office first. And you know, we went in there demonstrating. We had our Moorish flags, we had our feathers on. I had no throw on, but I had no black. I had strictly for law. Came up in there. You know what I'm saying? Me and another Moabitess, you know what I mean? She's an elder. I respect her. You see what I'm saying? I am trying to talk to El. So we go off in there and we talking to the people that's supposed to be the authoritarians, you know, over the English legislature or whatever. They never brought the sheriff there. They gave us the person that was right there. You see on his deputy, the deputy sheriff. But they didn't. The sheriff did not come out. He did not want to meet us.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? We spit straight fire. Because you are constitutionally supposed to help. You was elected by the people.
Yeah.
And you have power to release whoever you want to release out of your jail. You do have that. That's why the main sheriff did not bring his monkey self down.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? He just was monkeying around, you know, bananas. So boom, we sat there, went through there with them for about 30 minutes, so almost an hour. They gave us a runaround. So then we turned around and went up to the DA's office. And then, you know what I mean, I stood on my square and talked to him just like this. And me and him was going back and forth. I was like, you know, in the state of Georgia, that more is, you're not supposed to be locking them up. You got up under English legacy, fictitious straw that y'all privileged us and put us into. So if she's already knowing she's a more biased, you got to let her go. You know what I mean? And then he was like, well, and then they gave me the assumption that they already talked to this guy. No. The sheriff and the DA. They gave me the assumption.
Yeah.
So I goes, you know, finna go down here on my square, and I'm finna get the more bites out.
Yeah.
More, they ran us around like a washing machine.
Yeah.
Understand me? But at the same time, we knew what the hell.
Yeah, they knew. Well, that's the key.
And
Yeah.
the key was
That's the key.
they were all up in there. They surrounded us, right? So I got the elder mother with me. So I grabbed her by the hand like, no. So here goes this guy, supposed to be quote unquote, you know, ICE or whatever, immigration.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, he was like, oh, what's your name? I was like, I'm gonna let go Raheem Brownell, and I'm down here on the behalf of what's the mother name? I can't call her appellation right now, but she was a babe, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm coming down there to get her out. You see what I'm saying? And it was told to me that I have to come through y'all so we can release it. And he gave me another talking about, well, I can't just let her go like that. I said it's already on your books in Georgia. 4 more.
Yeah.
So now you're telling me something that, you know what I mean, and we're indigenous, aboriginal to this land. So now you are kidnapping one of our nationals. See what I'm saying? So you have to let her go. Then he, you know, turned around and was like, hold up for a minute. Because then I knew he wasn't coming back. He was winning office. See what I'm saying? So once he went into the office, I was like, wow. You know what I mean? You know,
You have to go hide.
yeah, these guys,
Yeah.
these people here, they disgust me. So then we left from there. Then I was like, well, then let's go down here, you know, and file a complaint and, you know, put it on the record that we've been here. So we goes into the lobby to speak to the head, you know, what's the lady that do the records? Clerk.
Yeah.
So we can file the paperwork on the Morris behalf. I'm not gonna accept that paperwork and close the. I'm telling you, look, Mark.
Yeah.
Like the window is closed.
Yeah.
What you weren't in Florida,
Oh, we was in I can't call it right now, but we was in Georgia. We was in Georgia, but I can't call it county, specifically county.
What's out of town?
I think it was right around Connie. Not, it can't be Connie, Georgia. It was. I think it was right around Gwinnett. I think it was right around Gwinnett County that it happened. You know what I mean? So when we went up there to get her, but they finally released her. But you know, they had to, you know, she had to bond out.
They want to get some.
Yeah, they wanted to, you know, because you know they only predicated off her straw.
Thank you.
Okay, so you know, I just told the mother, I was like, you know, go ahead and do what you gotta do, but they did that on purpose because they're supposed to have relinquished, let her go. But see, if we don't have the true backing of the Moors as far as in these temples, just like Amir said, they're supposed to be embassies.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same thing like when I was in the Cherokee tribe.
Mhm.
Got identification, they could not do anything. If I gave them my ID when I was in the Cherokee tribe, they had to call the chief.
Yeah,
They could not, even if I was to go to a hospital,
right.
they could not touch me. And I was interested. And that's why I'm happy for each journey that I've gone through, because I've learned different things with each path. And I was interested with coming into more science that knowing how they operated as the Cherokee tribe, that they couldn't touch me, they pulled me over and I gave them that Cherokee ID, they couldn't do anything.
Same
And
thing,
that was
that's being
interesting.
more,
Yeah.
same,
Yes.
That's what I see in terms of being poor when
Yeah.
people with grand property.
yes,
That they would do you the same way.
Yeah.
I think where they get that from.
right.
Right,
For the
right.
temple.
Yeah,
On us.
We
Yeah.
know we're not Cherokee or any
None of that.
Yeah.
We never been made up.
Right.
So who were you originally doing this for?
Right,
Mhm.
for the Moors.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because once you go through the treaties, right, they all with Moors. Every last treaty, 308 treaties, they all with Moors.
You still have what you said currently things like all the proclamations that's with the different so-called states.
They,
Yeah.
they got those too.
Georgia, it's telling you
Yeah.
that Moors are the Republican fathers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like, so why isn't it so easy as to have that paper and see wherever you need to see as far as
And then them just do what they, just do what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Stop playing around.
What's
Yeah.
like this? Am I gonna close down that girl? Or they're gonna see?
On the receipt, because that's what we had brought though, Amir. We have brought that
Yeah.
for her to release it. It was so powerful that she didn't even want to. And it's it was a Moabite. It wasn't no modern European that was it. You see what I'm saying? I rather well, yeah, well,
It's a state of mind.
well,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But that's just on though, what I was about to say is that, you have so many more also that don't want to work. Everyone can't be a boss. Everyone can't be an entrepreneur. Everyone can't be a home. So you rather stay at home and do nothing, then it's okay to go get a job in one of these different sectors. Because guess what? We need people to work in the bank. We need people that work in their government. We need people that work in every single sector.
Yeah.
So to sit at home and just say, I'm not gonna go work for these people, you're a fool.
Yeah.
You're not connect.
yeah.
You're the one that's gonna make them stand on.
Yeah. The spook at the door. Yeah.
We don't have anyone
Yeah,
in any
yeah,
of these
yeah.
sectors. They're gonna sit at home and make no money make no fiat so that they can survive,
Yeah.
or do anything. That's a problem. Like, everyone can't be a boss. What is your skill set when you're gonna be an entrepreneur? Why don't you go learn something and then go
Right.
try to be an entrepreneur? In the meantime, be of some use to your nation.
But that's what and I hold on that too, because people gotta understand that, everybody, if once we get our nationality, then we're gonna have those certain systems and institutions to re-educate our people. You know what I mean? Because when I look at certain things like trades for our children and stuff like that, they're not putting that out.
Yeah.
They're not making electricians, they're not making plumbers no more. They're not doing building stuff. Just building stuff with your hands.
Yeah.
Trades like carpenters and stuff like that. They're not doing that. They don't have like really computer programming classes like that no more either. There's nothing in the community as far as developing our youth brain into that and into a format for them to be productive and independent. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm looking at certain situations. That's why I want to open up a temple for, because once that temple is established, then certain things can be done in the community where we can say, okay, now we want to go ahead and start this business up, and we get some more to run that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying, as far as the, having some type of experience like me, I cooked for 20 years. See what I'm saying?
But when you say our community though, because I do see a difference. I know that there's no color but say black is a state of mind.
Right.
Because our children should not be in their school.
Right.
Our children
At all.
have
That's
the
why we
ability
need
to
this.
learn. So when you're saying our children,
Yeah.
our children should be able to be open to learn these trades, because we should be taking their education in our hands instead of handing it to them.
Right.
Now the black community, no, it's not. They're not getting any of these trades.
But that's why I fought that with the so-called black leaders, so-called black people that's in these positions
They're still gonna be
that's
used to us
pushing
though.
us.
They
You know what I'm
still
saying?
won't be used to us because they get to learn these traits and different things and or get into these different positions. They still have a black state of mind. So they're still not used to us.
That's why we have to come into the play and teach them and educate them and bring them up, because our people's gonna only
But you can't, but if you spend your time focusing on those who don't know,
right.
the
The ones who don't know, who
are
do
right here
know,
with you.
yeah, are gonna get stagnant. Yeah,
Yeah. So you have to focus on the ones that sit here with
that's
you.
what I was saying.
If you got the ones that's with you, they're gonna be the ones that's part of educating. They're gonna be the ones that's part of getting these institutions.
Right.
They're gonna be the ones that's running.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
How I'm visioning certain things, like let's say for instance, we all, establish something. We all play our part in doing whatever we're doing, right? And within that, yeah. So we all play that position. So for those who want this information, because we're gonna dust our heels off once we present it to you one time or whatever. And if you don't want to come and get with what we are, putting out here, that's on you. I'm not gonna chase you. I'm not gonna look for you. I know already. You see, it says more Sun Temple right here, baby boy and baby girl. Now, it's up to you to come in here and immerse yourself in its truth.
Yeah.
Now, like I said before, you know what I mean? Once we teach ourselves, then we all have to be industrious and spread the knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And then once we do that, then we'll be in a higher and superior position too, because we already know. They're gonna have to come through us. They're gonna have to see our face first. They're not gonna be able to just go out here and do things willy-nilly because we are subverted that. You're not gonna be able to just go out here and do these things and put a fez on your head. Buddy. No. No. You gotta come through here.
It still starts with home though, because if they see that our children are well educated,
Mm-hmm.
they see that our children are superior to theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as knowledge, now I'm not saying because no one's more superior than anything, but I'm just saying what they
and discipline and principle and morals.
Then that comes back to that magnet again.
Right.
So I said we can't. It's because I come from a sales background. So and they teach you in sales is don't waste your time on because you're draining your energy. You're draining your energy trying to convince this person or whatever you have instead of the ones that's right here. So you pour into what's right here with you, and that will be the magnet. Let that be the walking billboard for what you stand for your morals.
First starting off, yes, I agree. And then once those you teach, because see, I'm not here to son you. I'm not here to daughter you. I'm here to make you an individual, Superman on your own, or Batman on your own, or Hulk on your own. You see what I'm saying? Because we all got to come with different attributes.
Yeah.
We all gotta hold each other up in arms. I might not be able to be in computers like that, but you are. See what I'm saying? Yeah. I need you to come hack this for me and get this information out of there. They hold it from us. We need that. See what I'm saying? Everybody has a skill. So once we harness that skill and then do more science.
You had a comment or a question?
Just going back to the perspective of the Moorish temples and things like that. I don't know if the grand sheiks have a meeting, because it's we are eager to be a part of a temple. But you go to one temple, they're telling you, keep your Nalda gear and then put an L or a bag.
And get the social.
And keep the social, use the social. But then another temple says, you don't need your Nalda gear. You have your free national appellation and you do your business in that. And then you have black people who they hear one thing, they hear another. So then when you try to present the truth, they're like, I don't know, I heard this and I heard that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you have to combat that misinformation.
But it goes back to the best way to show people is being that example.
Yeah.
So when they see that you're an entrepreneur, they see that you're using your appellation, they see that you're doing things in proper persona. Now I'm going to listen. Now you're not just talking. Right. Now you're demonstrating. So now that's that poor, that's gonna make them wanna pay attention. Cause you just talking, you working here and you using Keisha Brown and you know, and then you telling me you telling me something else.
Yeah.
Because I also feel like that, like you said, the Cherokee, like, they obviously get respect, you know, from the policy enforcement and all that, you know, when you have the card, but I just feel like with some wars, because there's so many different versions or, you know, comprehensions of what we should do. So then the policy enforcement is like, well, this more said this, and then this more said this. So it's like so many different versions of what to do. And if we could all just collectively just have one version, like if the grand chiefs of each temple, they all meet and, you know, well, my members are saying this, like, if we could just be on one accord, I know that's going to be the strength of our nation.
I totally agree. But see, that's why the confusion is what it is right now, because that's what it's called, divide and conquer. See what I'm saying? We got all these fractions of Moors. You see what I'm saying? Got their own little Wakandas. You see what I'm saying? They doing their own thing and they don't want to be bothered. You see what I'm saying? And everybody's the chief and everybody's this. And that's just like with Jamal, right? When Jamal ran into that situation he ran into, it was that Sariki El Grand Sheik Elder that said he wasn't a Moor and he don't recognize him. You see what I'm saying? So now, and I brought that up. I brought that up because that's the main thing is what's going on right now within our nation, the infighting. See what I'm saying? That's why I brought that up, because they are dividing and conquering, and then okay, this process didn't work for me, so I'm gonna go over here to these other Moors. I ain't dealing with these Moors no more because this, you know, they burnt me out of fiat, or you know, I'm not dealing with these Moors no more. I'm gonna go over here. See, that's what we're dealing with right now in real time. But go ahead, more about it.
Oh no, I was piggybacking on what you said. It's interesting. When I went to a temple down here. Camelback. Camelback. What you said. I went to a temple down here, and I was there with another Moor at the time, and then this Bernstein first came into the knowledge, and they waited till he left. Didn't say anything to me at all while he was there. They waited till he left, and they kind of went in on me. I mean, like, oh my God. They asked me he was there. How did I come into the knowledge? And I said, then, Taj. They said nothing. When he went to the ATM, they were selling some books. And then when he left, they were, Taj is this, Taj is that. You should not be listening to him. He da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, and I was lost. Like, so while it was a Moor sitting next to me, you said nothing. So when a Moor leave, it's like the attack, and it's divisive. It's not that unified as you speaking so bad about somebody that brought me the knowledge that brought me here. How well do you think that's really gonna go? If you speaking harshly about somebody that is the reason that I'm sitting here in this.
And like how Moors disrespect RB back. Like,
They were talking about RB. They were. And then another temple told me when I called on the phone, I was looking for temple. This was the first thing.
Try to find a temple.
And he said, well, what type of ID or something? He asked me about ID. I said, I already have a North American identification. And he said, how? I said, I'm from RB Bank. Throw that in the garbage. This on the phone. This is everyone. Put it up, throw it in the trash right now. I'm like, I'm new. I'm like, what is going on?
Imagine these so-called black people. They're like, I don't know what to do. So let me just keep doing what I already know.
What I've been doing.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get locked up.
And this what you just said, right? He waited till the more that knew. They attack the mother all the time. That's what they're doing in those temples. They are subjugating the mother. You know, they wearing those feathers with the and they all patriarch. You're supposed to have an auxiliary temple. Women supposed to be running certain temples too, and have this as much power as the sheiks do too.
Yeah.
So if they're not doing that, all right, I wouldn't even go in their temples, because the prophet already showed me divinely. He prepared everything for the Moabite to get back on the throne right with us. That's why he got her in his hand. We already have power here to a certain degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we bringing the mother in, the mother has to be right on the throne too, because once the mother is on the throne, she has the same intellect as we do. Now we can go do some things. That's just like when the beehive, the work is always, the bees are working.
Yeah.
Okay, you come over there and you mess with that beehive if you want, so you're gonna get attacked right off. That's the bees. That's what they do. They're there to protect the queen, and that's what we're supposed to do for our Moabite, because she's the neutral, she's the sustainer, and she's the one that's gonna be a little bit more, how can I say, intelligent on thinking than
Sound,
we are.
yeah.
See what I'm saying? She's gonna be a little bit more diplomatic than we are. I'm ready to bust her head and get it over with. Okay, Moabite, going out, get off my way. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we function, because we're ready for war. See what I'm saying? So that's why the Moabite has to be in her right function. Because once she's in her right function, she's going to teach the children at the womb through her education and adoration of reading books on a daily basis.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So when the child comes out, he already has my war-like mentality, and then with the education that the Moabite already was instilling in him, and no fear. Because we got to think, the Moabite been injecting fear with this slave mentality that they've been ingesting with us in this animal husbandry, indoctrination that they've been putting down forth on us for how many years? 200 and some years since this country been up and running. I'm gonna say half of it, 100 and some years, because they had to coup that to get the legislation and everything to run in their favor. See, so once we understand, the mother needs to be right back in the same. Because when she say go to war, I'm going to war.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about thinking about, is it right, Malik?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? No.
Mother said.
Mother said. When mother says do it, Malik does it. And that's it. Ain't no problem. I'm gonna get my ass whooped.
Mother said.
But I'm not gonna get my whooping. The condition of the son. Yeah. The child.
So for mothers, we get to understand this and go
forward. We are.
Yeah, because say for instance, I'm still her child. My mom could be 90, I'm 60, I'm still her child. You know what I mean? So if the mothers are still living, we need to be behind these mothers that are educated. You know what I mean? Like you said, being that protector for her when she goes and handles this business, because she's here and he's like her identity. Right. But she's here, how can you inherit? Right. That's how I'm looking at it. It just makes sense to me. Yeah. So it's like, why aren't the mothers pushed to do this? Make it comfortable for them to, make that happen, because that's what we're supposed to be doing.
That's how we're supposed to be doing it.
Because it's like right now, 3 more bikes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's supposed to be more than that.
4, 6, 8, 9 more.
Yeah. Supposed to be more than that.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Because once we get the mothers, see that's what I'm saying though, as far as once the mothers get into it and they get actively, right, they're gonna have a certain standard with the men too.
Yeah.
Well, they're dealing with a man. No. Buddy, what you reading, you learning law, you learning this, you're doing something, you know what I mean? Okay, that's working fine. You know what I mean? But are you educating yourself? Are you doing the things that if we get in some type of bind, you'll be able to get us out of it? Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Because that's what a protector is about. It has to be a balance.
That's a balance, yeah.
It's a balance on both ends. It's on both ends. Because mother, just like I said, mother is right now. Mother has a choice to do whatever she want to do. See, they try to act like that the woman didn't have rights. You've been had rights here in this land. They was the ones who didn't have the rights. That's why they swapped places with you. See what I'm saying? With us. See what I'm saying? So we have to understand how powerful we are once we come into the consciousness of who we are. See? And then once we understand who we are, then we can take off. And we got to have mothers to do that.
Islam.
I was just about to ask a question. Do you think these temples are ran like this because the body don't know their part and they just allow the sheep to?
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's part of it. That's okay. It's just like Hule, right? Just like the Nation of Islam, right? They got all the brothers in there with X on their names, right? Before they are able to get a spiritual name. A lot of those brothers don't get a spiritual name. They still have an X on their name.
For years.
See what for years.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So that's a stagnant. That's called animal husbandry again. That's called sheep in the sheeple. Okay, shearing them. Make me a coat, make me some boots, you know what I mean? Make me a pillow, you know what I mean? Because that's exactly what they're doing to our people. They are using them as chattels, crafters, just like the corporations are doing right now. So they have to cool the temple. Once they cool the temple, then we can stop a lot of the rushing.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's just like when you're playing football, right? You got the quarterback, you got his defensive line, you got to stop the rushes. See what I'm saying? For coming in there. So he can get off. You gotta get his thing off.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So if I'm stopping the rushers, they can never get their thing off because I'm stopping them.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with the temples. Something when they attacked them. That's what it was. They attacked.
Mm-hmm.
But not all, but a lot of them, they were speaking of how they got rid of their license and they were pulled over and and went to jail. They were speaking on how they did things prematurely, and with lack of knowledge and had bad experience. So now you're anti-RV or you're anti-Todd, you're anti-this. Who told the mothers tell you? Don't throw away your license. Don't throw away that car. They tell you don't do that.
Yeah.
Before you come up into this, you need to study this first.
Yeah.
Before you start this, that's just like you
Stepping in,
pool,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you can't swim.
Can't swim.
You can't swim. So why are you jumping in the pool for?
And not even just the pool, jumping in the deep end.
Yeah, the deep end. You didn't get a little splash area. No, you want to go all the way up and get drowned. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So any logical person who has any type of merit about himself and wants to self-preserve himself, keep your damn driver's seat. Keep your license. Okay?
Yeah.
And so you can, you know what I mean? Because I relinquished mine after I got this knowledge and I can stand on my square. I don't need it no more.
Yeah.
But the car doesn't replace the knowledge.
Right.
Right.
That's what they're
Right.
doing.
Yeah.
I have this, but what laws are you standing on?
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
So that's what they'll do this too. They'll get that RV Bay card, right, and just pay for it, right? You know what I mean? And just to have a nationality card, but they don't use it.
Yeah.
You're not going to use it, and then at the same time, right? They're not even studying no more. They just study to get the card, and then after they got the card,
Now study is definitely done.
It's over with.
Study is definitely done.
Okay.
Yeah.
You study some stuff, but when do you meditate?
They don't
Yeah.
do
When do you
that.
manifest?
They don't do that.
When do you call on the Allah within you?
They don't do that.
When do you call on the ancestors?
They don't do that.
So now you have, this book knowledge, but now you lack the spiritual knowledge.
Mhm.
You have these morons all day and night sitting here talking about what a book reads, what a book has, what a book. Okay, but when do you meditate? When do you align yourself? When do you do any of that? I think that's the number one problem. You're not spiritually aligned. You can't even comprehend the knowledge that you have and know how to utilize it properly because you're not even spiritually aligned. That's why you can't pull, Moabite or more, because you're not spiritually aligned.
And then on top of that, they want to get mad with you because once you tell them no, they try to make more a clubism thing. Okay? And that's what they try to do. But I tell them quick, like, nah, you know what I mean? You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to disrespect my prophet or whatever endeavors. You cannot do any endeavors in the future because right there, you already offended me. See what I'm saying? So from there, now I'm trying to show demonstrate love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, what you want. Because those are our principles. Can we stay on that?
Yeah.
I was buying some shirts from a black guy in here, and he said, I don't know what it was. It might have been my appellation, something. And he said something like, "You're a Moor."
Yeah.
I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, I said some Moors down here. They think they and start going in." Hold on. Don't need to do business no more. How do you think that? What's wrong with you?
Right.
How do you think that you can disrespect
Me,
my people need?
Yeah.
And then I'm about to do business.
Yeah.
Right.
But that shows of respect we are given because of how we portray ourselves out in the public. So if we don't respect ourselves, we'll make another person feel that they have to respect us. But I'm going to show you today, next time you come in contact with another, you're going to keep your mouth closed with the utmost respect because you just lost $1.
Right.
And that's what spirituality is.
Right. And they're going to learn today. That's what I always tell them, like, all right. You're going to learn today, mess with this one.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna play me, and I wasn't when I was a Negro. You understand me? You wasn't playing me then, and you're definitely gonna play me as a more in my higher self. You're not gonna do that. So before we get into all this fisticuffs, or before we get into all this yelling back and forth, I'm just gonna disengage and say peace be upon you, and then I'm just gonna let that be what it is, because at the same time we have to choose our battle wars, and ignorant battles is not even worth it.
Because there wasn't even no point in engaging in that.
But,
I'm gonna say peace.
Yeah.
One of the Moors in the chat had a question, but I wanna put it out as a challenge for the Moors. So he was asking, where is it, or what do the Moors here wish to accomplish in the next 5 years? Right, but I just want to put it in the minds so that it could be a private thing, and then maybe in 5 years, huh? Well, we could say we'll put the individual out there, so we'll just put the individual stuff out there, as far as the Moors in this jurisdiction, and the group thing, we'll use that as to come together out here, and in 5 years, let's see what the Moors here manifest in 5 years. We'll check back or something like that, But for individuals, they're saying both, but for individuals, the next 5 years, what do you see as far as accomplishing for yourselves? There's just a question in the chat.
Is it like a random person asking a question, or is somebody like?
Yeah, no, it's a Moor. Yeah, a Moor is asking. Yeah. Somebody, one of the Moors near Canaanland. Because that's it's sort of the same thing that we're talking about. That once we come together, then what are we going to be doing once we come together? And the whole thing of, we've been to the temple, and the temple is like a church, and the temple is like a down, and there's no place to go to, you know what I mean? So coming together and doing something is what the option.
In general, for group, you got the group economics and things like that, and us having some kind of way to be back in industry with more just eating. And two things that I know that go all day is food and construction and building. You gotta have somewhere to live, you gotta maintain spaces, and you gotta eat. There's not too many. We have to be in a vegan spot now, but there's not too many
vegan spots.
Yeah, that's around, and that's the thing to do. Why not? Why wouldn't more? Even if you had to pull the money together to start that business, that's something that's gonna keep people eating, far as their finances, and keep people, nourished the right way. And then construction, it can only grow, you know what I mean? Because there's so many avenues, bro, that we could take, but we need to take an avenue where everybody is okay.
Yeah, what? To come back off of your mirror, we all need to come together and think like the government body. So I'm saying, and do things within that government body on votes. You know what I mean? And then once we all vote, you know what I mean, then we'll go ahead and go into that venue or that endeavor. So, that's why, corresponding as a group is so important, you know what I mean? Because then we'll be able to do things with just one individual that we couldn't do just, one or two more. You know what I mean? Now we're coming together collectively. So now, from us coming together collectively, we all come together as a government body, and we vote on everything. Even, I don't care, the Grand Sheik or whatever. Everybody who's a part of this get a say-so. You know what I'm saying? You get to come in with the knowledge you research too. If this is a party to what we've been researching. See, we're gonna make you feel a part of this clan, a part of this tribe. That's how I'm looking at, you know what I mean, doing certain things, because that's how we're gonna be able to get things done, by letting people come with certain inventions, because you never know, they might come with something that
might be the one. Yeah.
You're like, whoa. You see what I'm saying? So you got to give people the the chance to shine, because once you give them that chance to shine, then we all shine. You know?
It's a lot more.
If I may, I hear a lot of Moors, whether you declared or not declared, and they tend to always say, well, we need this, we need that, yada, 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 right? And for me, for people to say those things, they don't know. They ain't in the know. They think they in the know. Talk good, all that. But just because you don't see it or you ain't heard about it, it don't mean it don't
Doesn't exist.
Because you got some Moors that ain't about to deal with a bunch of fruitcakes, man.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Ain't got time.
No, elders.
Excuse me, let me finish.
I got you.
Ain't got time to play, ain't got time to teach. Look, they ain't about that foolishness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me? And just to throw a few of them out there that you may have seen a YouTube video on or heard about them, you don't hear nothing about Fontavious no more. You don't hear nothing about Mario from Tennessee. Because guess what? They done everything that y'all talking about, and they was like, yo, you know what? I'm tired of talking. I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? And they ain't telling nobody nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, this ain't show and tell.
Right.
Yeah.
This ain't the romper room. You got some folks, brothers and sisters out here, they ain't playing with this.
Yeah.
They ain't talking about it. They being about it.
Right.
And they ain't saying nothing.
Right.
They'll tell you, or you'll hear from them after it's done.
Yeah.
You got time, place.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't got time to be talking to nobody.
Right.
I'm gonna do it.
Right.
You feel me?
I got you.
Sure.
I ain't got time.
And I get what you're
Get out
saying
the
too.
way.
I get what you're saying too, because there is a lot of that going on, Elder. There is a lot of that going on. Fruitiness.
Mommy.
Yeah.
My hand is tired.
Everybody else, every other nation, like you've heard Brother Todd say, everybody else come here living off our virtues and they doing the thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to see no more damn t-shirts. I don't want to see no more shoes. I don't want to see no. Look, man. I see other nations when they hear they doing the thing.
They're doing it.
Be mad. They got $1 million operations going on, and they only dealing with their own people, and they doing the thing.
Yeah.
Where okay, you Aboriginal indigenous to this landmass, but when you go in this building, spend your little fiat and
Get on the line.
Yeah.
right, and it's just too many of them, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else come here
No.
doing it.
Right.
And guess what? They all got it from the prophet.
Yeah.
They flourish.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
We can't even go to our own grocery stores.
Yeah.
We got everybody else.
Everybody else is there. Yeah.
And then again, everybody going to look, man.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Because that's the main thing I was saying. They're talking about the prophet didn't have this. The prophet had everything. The prophet had everything. Everything. Stores.
Yep.
Everything. So they did this to corner us off anyway when they put Martin Luther King, Michael King in the position that he. You see what I'm saying? They did all this by design anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's an uphill battle for Moors to try to, get together.
It ain't an uphill battle for the Moors. It's an uphill battle for the Moors that make it an uphill.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't play that compound stuff.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And everything that has been said, it don't mean that I necessarily agree with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't deal with that stuff. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to learn how to.
Shenanigans.
You gotta learn how to deal with people and then don't deal with people. You see what I'm saying? And just like you said, do things first and then after you get it done. Don't go tell nobody nothing.
Grand Sheep had class, was it yesterday?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yesterday. Oh, no, it was Thursday. We had Mother Roz on there.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
And
that was a good
I
class.
think it went over everybody's head when Mother Roz said, and she gave the meaning of constitution, psychopathic
Inferiority,
complex. Right? And that's not only, it was the definition of it in law, but that's the definition of it metaphysically in life. If you don't understand the constitution of how you are here, how you arm, leg, arm, head in the flesh, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Man. Period. Stop playing.
For real.
That's one thing I love about the mothers in Morris Harrison Citrus School. They're giving it to you raw.
Yeah.
And I've been on it for 8 years.
I've been on it a long time too.
They may say things differently, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
She's telling you the same thing.
Same stuff.
Right? And people ain't getting it, man. And I'm look.
Who's supposed to get it
You
will
know
get
what
it.
I'm telling you? Everybody, even the ones that's doing what they're supposed to do, they still got psychopathic, constitutional inferiority complex.
Yeah.
Right? Man.
And that's what I'm saying too, though. That like it's a
struggle.
It's a struggle, though.
Can you go into that a little bit more, because I don't remember her putting that on the on the presentation, but I don't know if I truly comprehend.
Well, if you don't understand yourself,
Right.
to thy own self thy be true. Right? And if you don't know yourself, you don't know nothing. How can you say you know this, you know that? You feel me? And you don't. You know, like Cujo said earlier, you know, you got truth and falsehood strangely mixed. And if you can't decipher which one you feed the most, you feel me? You're walking bag of rocks.
And it's like people that can quote the Constitution and stuff like that, but like you said, they don't know self, though.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's self.
Right.
Yeah.
You can look at that same Black Law Dictionary and look up metaphysical.
Yeah.
Metaphysical in the law dictionary is the real reality of things, not this illusion.
And you have more this in metaphysics.
Yeah.
Metaphysics is the real reality of things, not just because I say it, not just because, you know what I mean? It's the real reality of it. It's just like dealing with the babies. The real metaphysical reality of things, you ain't gonna deny that baby of anything. That's the real metaphysical reality of it.
Yeah.
Baby needs shoes on the feet, baby needs shelter, love. You feel me? And you ain't gonna negate none of that from nobody.
Right.
You know? And sometimes you may have to take a head just on the strength of, hey, that's my baby.
Right.
And ain't nobody gonna do what they want to do with my baby. And not my baby's 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 babies. But guess what? Mama bought me here.
Right.
And if you don't know what your job is, don't talk to me.
Right.
Because I ain't got time to play with a bunch of people still running around here. Ain't had no exorcism.
Yeah.
Ain't had no, you feel me? All they want to do is dress up.
Yeah.
You know?
Look at
Because
me.
You got that fez that, you know what I'm saying?
Look at
That
me.
don't mean nothing to me.
For real.
Because you can say some real, you can start off talking real good and everything. But as soon as you say something goofy, I'm looking at you sideways.
Yeah.
You feel me? When I say I'm looking at you sideways, I'm looking at you sideways. I ain't got time to play.
But kind of like what you were talking about, I had this conversation with Jamal on his page a few days ago, where he was, someone over here, like he was judging other Moors for making music. And it's like, who you need some master you? How are you trying to make everyone like you?
Right.
If there's a place and purpose for all. So for you to sit here and you're judging other people when you got some, it's Islam. I said law and master.
Yeah.
How you trying to master other folks and you haven't even
we're Moorish musicians, you know. These are the people that helped you when you were kidnapped, given fiat. You know what I'm saying? So then these crystals aren't gonna get you out, whatever.
So soul Christians, soul Christians helped.
With the ball, right? I understand what you're saying as far as don't make the music your soul prepared, right? But at the same time, though, you know, we have to cultivate and live. Okay, we have to do certain things as far as putting out a message.
And don't make it as well. I didn't catch the beginning.
Oh, he said don't make it like your soul prepared for things like you know your priority. You see what I'm saying?
Don't say
Like,
don't make it out.
well, I'm looking at it as, you know what I mean, you know, I'm looking at it with my perspective. I feel that the more who put the message out in the music, I enjoy it more because it's putting light out there and it's letting you know about your nationality, your history, and everything. Excuse me.
Yeah, and I agree. We were having that discussion on the way here. Like, if you don't want Moors to make music, but so you want us to listen to Black Negro, you want us to listen to Negro music. So, and music's been around since the beginning of time. So, how to make sense, or it's just not supposed, or it's only supposed to make sense if you don't think about it.
And it's giving agent, you know.
Yeah, because you can't pay me to believe that you listen to no music.
Thank you.
You can't pay me to believe that you're listening to nothing at all.
Right.
So to be so judgmental, and then you got the peanut gallery following behind them talking about people that make music are against it, that rap or make music are against themselves. Are you a fool or what?
And you know, and jewelry makers and you know, crystals and like,
And it's the same thing like what the elder said, you know, about, you know, we've gone past certain things, right? You get it. But, you know, people been crystalled up and all that stuff, t-shirt up, Moorish, whatever.
And you want people to join
just
the Moorish militia, I guess, but what state is the Moorish militia in since, you know, the July incident?
Yeah.
I don't see you saying, come on, let's go do another camp and training.
But to be honest, dude, you're an ex-military dude.
You said
As they're looking at you, I'm just talking about they're looking at you. No one's gonna attract more attention than an ex-military dude and they're looking at you as a Muslim terrorist. That if from the outside, that's how they're looking at him because he's an extremist. And he wants everyone to be, it's nothing wrong with being, you know, militant, this is mature. He's extreme with it. And that's because he's been brainwashed by them for so many years. Because they break you down from who you are and build you up to who they want you to be. And so now that's all he knows, and that's what he thinks everyone else is supposed to be. But let me tell you something, there's different ways to combat a war. Because they're fighting a war against us every day, and they're not booted up the army fatigue, and they're winning. So come on, you gotta think on another level, just not on the level that they trained you to think on.
And one of the main ways is the media. And the music is so low vibrational. All these, you know, our children and these people are listening to this violence and the music and they're emulating it.
Well, it's because y'all don't see what you're talking about. Don't think it don't exist.
Right.
You feel me?
And just like I was saying though before, you know, I had a phone call. I think more should make music because that comes as the nigger music that's pumped in my ear, man. So yeah, I think Moorish hip hop is a necessary. But like I said with Jamal though, there's certain avenues that we all can take to uplift all of humanity. See what I'm saying? Just because you want to be the militia or whatever and train people, that's fine. Stay in your lane, and more who wants to be trained up to, you know, to defend themselves or whatever, then they'll come. You know what I mean? You'll get, my Moabite tells me you'll get more honey, more bees with honey than vinegar. So there's certain ways, because see, the division part, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Moors going back and forth, banging up us. We are trying to get the same thing. If we're trying to get the same thing, why are we all banging our heads against each other and doing all this, that, and the third?
That's why I was talking to him. I said, it's a place for push. Let push while we're bound and
Yeah.
you know, with the books and let
Yeah.
Push do we do it and
Yeah.
whatever and expose the dirt
have to be unified. We have to be unified with each other. All this arguing and going back and forth, we need to go on code. You know how they used to say back in the day, let's just go on code. See what I'm saying? And whatever we need to discuss in the privacy, if I don't like you or whatever, we do that in the background. Now, I see you in public and we are doing lessons and stuff like that, I'm gonna give you the utmost respect. Because we all gotta start somewhere.
And people obviously respected the Lord's militia and him. So
Yeah.
they come.
Yeah.
And do love it.
And I
So you
defended-
can't say nobody, you didn't get locked up by yourself.
I defended Morris Militia just like Cujo defended Morris Militia. We all defended him. So don't act like we wasn't riding for you, Jamal.
That in turn shows his true colors.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about it, this whole thing just did it. He got none of those donations that were on the road pushing, you know, like,
Yeah.
for him to
All of us, I done had the whole thing of pushing it on my webpage for him riding the Morris, free riding the Morris, you know, pushing it.
You know what speaks volume though? And we talked a little bit about this earlier, where people disrespect our prophet
Right,
and think it's okay.
right.
How you gonna go stand next to the feds though? After he called himself Noble Drip Ali.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you go do an event
Right,
at his venue, at his face, and shake hands with him.
right.
How?
But he
And
already,
he's a rapper.
yeah, but he's the
He
rapper.
is a rapper, right?
And you had him in your video. But see, this is what I'm saying though. As far as him not even speaking on you at all when you was incarcerated. Your guy, Mr. Noble Drip Ali.
Yeah.
Okay? Alright? And yeah, the prophet is dripping. He always dripping. With knowledge, understanding, overstanding, baby. So it's not how you say something, it's what you do with your actions. You see what I'm saying? And with his actions, he left the ball out of the trial. When he was locked up, did you go down there and see him? You know, make sure his ball light was straight. You know, give us money or some reserve notes or whatever.
Pushing this Muslim thing now.
See?
Yeah, I seen some people asking if he. Yeah, well, I don't know, but I've seen people asking him on his page. So I'm confused. Like, are you Muslim now? Are you Muhammad? Following Muhammad now? And I don't know because I didn't pay that much attention.
But see, I'm gonna interject this too, Morris.
What you say?
Said his bunk making was
Yeah.
in.
What he was in. Yeah. But see, look, I'm gonna interject this too. The prophet said Morris gonna be able to articulate all the victory. So in that nature though, if you're gonna be a Muslim, that's fine. But make sure that you have the prophet's lesson and that you are discerning the dogma
From the
you
real.
see what I'm saying, from the real.
But don't disrespect
But don't
the
dis-
Lord.
yeah,
Don't
don't disrespect the Lord. Because I had to check him one time too. And I was like, no, we're not Muslims, we Muslims.
Yeah.
Do you understand what a Muslim is? Muslim is the one that created all religions. Okay? All of them. That's what a Muslim is.
We've seen
And I study all religions. So you need to just don't try to make this no Muslim thing, buddy. Stop it.
There's a difference between self-defense, which everybody should learn,
Right,
and getting arrested.
right.
It's leading the movement that the prophet is not necessarily the head of, and he's getting arrested. So how are you a leader? Because the demonstration is the others know those that are truthful,
Right.
those that are putting the prophet where he should be, to follow those principles.
Right.
So they see it, it's probably not aligned with principles. So they act on it, then you got to do some self-reflection. Because on my way here, so I got out the city, I got this, and it was to the point where they tried to get me to pull on me, but I wouldn't do it. I just stayed in character, and he saw that I had passport and all that stuff, so he went on back his Mary Blue like waist. Now, that's the number one issue that we're demonstrating. How do we not get arrested? It's a way to not get arrested. So once we know that comes around, then we can all help one another with that number one issue. It's not just, taxes or tickets, whatever. But the days do recognize it.
when you are doing certain consultations. They have no way of getting around it
Because they can't involve themselves in noise.
I
because you're talking about
have
international law and
jurisdiction.
treaties. Once you enter that,
He said
they cannot hold jurisdiction.
What people don't get is that the Constitution has been cool for them to function.
Yes.
Yeah. Islam Morris, we're just gonna it looks like the ancestors are getting restless.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna close out. Any closing remarks before we close out? Any closing thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
And we're also gonna try to get our get a little picture before we leave. So if anybody's leaving, don't leave right on time. Peace, Morris. Let's just close out and go for a little bit. Peace, Morris. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through a holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Morris.
I'm getting right now.
Islam Morris. Yeah, there's gonna be a replay just as soon as I shut this down. Replay is gonna be there. Honors to all the Moors out there for supporting. You already know. The next stop is VA. Islam Morris.
It's truly a blessing.
Real life. Talk on video. Like I was telling you, shit, I had been here and I was studying just myself, you know, raw big more that I did get nationalized with. Like, on my side. So I was like, man, you know, yeah. So I was like, in my study, I was doing the more science tip on this area, and I couldn't get the address. And then when you get having with Brother Jamal, I feel like, what they doing? Like, what's going on? I'm looking, you know, like my family is, my kids be
Islam Morris.
getting out doing it. I had studied since 2014. Yeah,